Hey everyone, it's CJ here again. The video today is something about a bit of a theory that people have been sort of bantering about, and I'm here to talk today about ducks, in specific the duck journals, which recently finished. If you haven't noticed, over the past few months, TF2's been invaded by ducks somewhat. It all kind of started with the Halloween update back in October, and there was a mini game on the new Halloween map, which had ducks to collect in your bumper car, and there was the bonus ducks shout out by Marasmus, and since then things have kind of got a bit ducky everywhere. The end of the line update brought more ducks. There was the duck in the pool party taunt for the pyro. Maybe that was a bit hidden, but it did have a duck in it. And there was the Molten Mallard Unusual, which is a new unusual effect, which was uncreatable from end of the line crates. And there was lots of other duck related kind of material and hints all over the place. Not least the ducks that explode out of dead people in the servers. But obviously the duck journal and the duck tokens were part of the update. There were some items that you could buy from the store or trade for. And the thing was, there was a lot of people, including myself, who were kind of confused about what they did. It did explain it, but it wasn't kind of obvious for a lot of people about the real point of the ducks, the duck journal and the duck tokens. Basically, to put it simply, when people died in the server and when things happened like capturing a point or killing an enemy or a teammate dying, ducks would appear on the server, and you could pick those ducks up. Now the only way to kind of count the number of ducks that you've been collecting was to have a duck journal. Now the duck journal didn't really count the number of ducks, but rather the duck experience. Each kind of duck had a different experience level. Some that came out of capture points may only give 3 XP. Some only gave 1 if they were from a teammate, while bonus ducks, which were the shiny golden ducks, they gave, I think it was 50 experience points, and there was a bonus ducks call out by Marasmus when you picked them up. The duck tokens, they were also purchasable from the store, and they were able to be added to your duck journal up to 5 times. So you could buy 5 tokens as well as duck journal, which, if you're keeping tabs, this is well over £10 I think by now, which is quite expensive for the idea. What the tokens did was increase the number of ducks that appeared when you killed a player. So if you just had the regular duck journal, a certain number of ducks would appear. If you had 5 tokens in the duck journal, then more ducks would appear every time you got a kill. Obviously more ducks appearing, the more ducks you can collect and the higher you can level up your journal. So basically this was the idea of the duck journal, and it would rank up, and it had a number of ranks that would level up to 20, the highest being 20, kind of like a strange weapon, and the highest was Quaxton's Hail, obviously like Saxton Hail, a play on words. So the point was, when you get to level 20, when you got to Quaxton Hail on your duck journal, what happened? Did you get a reward? No, there was nothing that would happen at all. Which left a lot of people kind of confused about what's the point in spending all this money on a duck journal, on duck tokens, or trading for them in order to count ducks. And there was, the idea that you would try and get more ducks. It was only a limited amount of time, and you try and beat your friends on the leaderboard to try and get a higher level than them. But other than that, there really wasn't any initiative or reason behind it. The only thing I could think about of the reason of having it was braggability. Braggability is a new word that I've just made up in my head. It's a noun. It's the ability to brag or show off your items. If there's anyone who knows about braggability or showing off, it's probably myself. I do have a video where I do show off all of my unusuals and my taunts and things like that. But that's the only reason I can think of the duck journal being as popular as it was. Or the kind of aim behind it was this ability to level up your duck really, really high, to show off to people, because there were some people that leveled it up way past level 100, and they were showing off to their friends and posting it on websites like Reddit and saying, look how high I got my duck journal. But there was no reward, there was no item reward, there was no announcements, there was nothing really. The only way anyone will know is if they were to look on your profile and look at your duck journal. So that really, for some people, there was no point other than trying to level it up as high as they could. Which kind of brings me to my point. I think that Valve was perhaps testing the water using their dark journals to see about adding possibly a new feature into TF2. If anyone here has played CSGO, I'm sure a lot of you have, you'll be aware of the operations that they have. Operations are kind of these sort of events that you can buy into, and you'll get mission drops, which are challenges to get a certain number of kills on a certain weapon or a certain number of wins on a competitive map during certain scenarios. And the more of these challenges you win, the higher your rank goes. You can level up your badge to higher levels and you get item rewards from it. And I was starting to think it's kind of comparable to the dark journals in TF2. And was the dark journal maybe kind of a beta kind of test of an operation style event for TF2? In dark journals you got no rewards. There was simply, like I said, the braggability of being able to level up your dark journal to a certain amount. But in the future, could they have extra journals that you would buy from the store that would initiate challenges for you in order to level up and get item rewards? It would be a pay-to-play thing with item rewards. You'd buy, again, like a journal, like the dark journal, and you would get maybe weapons, maybe cosmetics, maybe even chance of an unusual or something like that from leveling up a certain challenge badge or something. There would be kind of like a challenge counter. So it could be lots of different challenges. Things like kill 100 soldiers, or win 10 rounds on Dust Bowl, dominate 5 medics, get 100 shotgun kills, things like that people would actually get from playing the game generally, but it would also give them, you know, an initiative to play with different weapons or play on different maps, things like that. And maybe there'll be a challenge counter on their badge, on their journal, that would say how many challenges that they'd completed, how many levels they'd leveled up using the experience from completing those challenges, things like that. It's something that's possible, it's something that's doable in TF2, I'm sure. The big question would be, do people want it? And the feedback from End of the Line update was not good, mostly because people saw it as Valve being a bit money grabbing in the idea of releasing this dark journal with all these tokens that had no real reason to be in the game. There was no other reason other than, like I said before, the ability to show off to your friends and other players how highly you'd leveled up your dark journal. So they would have to change it. They would have to not have, you know, the amount of money that you would have to spend on getting things like this. And do people want to have these challenges, or is this just going to be seen as a way of just adding unnecessary distractions into the game? Or it could be, for some people, a new reason to play. Some people, I guess, get a little bit bored playing in public servers, and some people who are playing competitive want a way to chill out. And it might be a nice way to have these little challenges to try and complete and level up your badge during, I don't know, a month or 2 weeks, a certain event during a time, and then at the end of that event it's over and you would see the level of your badge and you would see the number of challenges completed, and again you could show off to your friends, and you could have a challenge counter, maybe a badge that would show how many events you'd been in part of, and a journal that showed how many of those challenges you'd completed. It's an idea that's been said to me by friends as well, that maybe Valve was trying something new and we're going to try to do these kind of CSGO operations in TF2. Who knows what's going to happen? It could be totally wrong, it could be close to the truth, it could be something totally different, who knows. But as always guys, discuss in the comments, let me know what you guys think. Am I close to the mark, do you think? Or do you think Valve has got something totally different up their sleeve? Or do you think ducks were just a gimmick Valve decided to throw in for an update and we're not going to see anything of again? But as always guys, let me know, and thanks for listening.